You gotta paint that. Well, not two of them, maybe one. I painted two because I forgot to turn the camera on for the first one. So there's the first one, and there's the second one. It was fun to paint. You gotta do it with me. Yeah, how do you like that kitty? Cheers. It's milk. It's just milk. So I'm just going to start off here with I think it's a 2-inch brush, just putting a bit of white, titanium white paint on one side and a little bit of burnt umber on the other side, just a dab. The effect I'm trying to make here is a dirty wall, an old grungy dirty wall, something you'd see in a back alley. So just make that dirty wall however you want, and when you're done, we'll get on with the cat. This part I'm just adding a little bit of what's going to be the shadow on the wall from the cat. So the cat I'm going to put in front of this, and that, what I'm doing right now, is the shadow on the wall. So we'll start off here with some plain Mars black. I'm using just a regular small brush, and we'll get the head painted and the body. The body's not really going to look like a cat, but this painting is kind of going to be a caricature of a cat. So it doesn't matter what shape you want your cat. You can make a big head or a small head. You can make a fat body or a skinny body. Anything goes. Now we'll get on with the arms. We're going to have one arm where he's got his hand on his hip kind of thing, and the other arm is going to be down and then bent up at the elbow like a human elbow. And there we're going to have the cat holding something. The cat is going to be holding a glass of wine. Now I needed to start showing some fur off the edges of the cat rather than having just flat edges. I've tried 2 or 3 different brushes in the process. You can do this too, just figure out which brush you like the best. Just to have the cat's fur sticking out like he's a ruffled cat. And I just went all around the edges of the body with whatever brush I decided to use. It was a fan brush eventually, but then I think I switched over to another brush again. So here I'm taking one of my smallest brushes and I'm going to start making the wine glass, painting the outline of the wine glass. So start with the base of the wine glass at the top of his arms. I'm just going to touch up the background. I'm touching up the background because I want it to show through the glass. Make it look like glass, if that's possible. So I'll do the stem of the wine glass and then the round part, and I'm going to put red wine in it. So for that, I'm going to mix Mars black, or any old kind of black that you got, with red. Lots of red. So it's going to look really dark, but you'll still see a hint of red in there. And I'm going to take one of my rounded brushes and just gently fill up the glass with the wine. And then we'll touch up the outline of the glass, showing the top part and the round stem, and we'll give it some shading and sort of try and make it look 3D. Just touching up the black. I want to make sure that I don't see the canvas through the paint. So I'll touch that up here. And then we'll get on with his eyes. His eyes are going to be yellow. Maybe he's jaundiced or something. Accidentally got a little bit too much water, so I wanted thicker paint, but I had too much water. So a paper napkin is a handy thing to have as a tool. So we'll just go straight across and then slope it down. Almost like his eyes are only half open. So before we paint a pupil, we're going to let that eye paint dry and give this guy some ears. I almost forgot the ears. And we're going to make them really long, weird looking ears. This isn't a realistic painting. This is caricature. Sorry, I bumped the camera. Now that the yellow of the eyes is dried, we're just going to give him some black pupils right near the tops of the eyelids. Make him look like he's got droopy eyes or he's had too much wine, maybe. So just a tiny little dot of black for the pupils, and then an even smaller little dot in the black pupil of white paint, just to make it look like his eyes are glistening. Now we're going to take some very watered down white paint and we're just going to give the hint of fur, like white or light shining off his fur, nose, and some whiskers. And the reason I say watered down paint is because when it dries it won't be so strong. It won't take over. You just want it faint. So I'm using my liner brush that I bought the other day. This brush is really handy and it was nice and cheap too, $5. So just making the whiskers, and then I'll go around with the fan brush and make some fur, make it look like there's some shiny fur in the black there. So I've got the fan brush with some very watered down white paint. Sorry about my hand being in the way. I got to figure out a new camera angle because this isn't working. And I'm just putting faint white strips of fur all over him just to make it seem like he's actually got fur. And then I'm going to add a little bit of black with a small brush in there as well and kind of layer the fur. Not really to make it look more realistic, but just I didn't want too much fur showing. I just wanted it sparsely located on the body. So let's not forget about the hand that's holding, or the paw that's holding the wine glass. We're just going to put sort of an oval or a square on either side of the wine glass stem, and that will be his paw. And I'm going to put a few dots on each side of white paint, and those will be his claws. And don't forget, underneath the stem, we got to attach the arm to the rest of the arm underneath the stem of the glass, or the base of the glass. So I was just touching up the edges of the body and the arms, giving some fur, and now I'm putting a little bit of faint white, just a thin stripe close to the top of the eyes, almost like eyebrows, but more to give the cat some expression. I was trying to do a nose here, but it just didn't look right, so I'm taking some more black paint and just gonna gently cover over that. Any of your mistakes are fixable, so don't be worried if something doesn't look right. You can always change it later on in the picture. So I'm just gonna dab away some of that. He had too much nose. Now I'm going to add a little bit of straight red paint on top of the dark black and red inside the wine. That way people can tell that it's red wine. And the rest of this will just be basically touching up anything that you don't like or don't feel looks right. I wanted to add some more shading here behind, or shadow behind him. Sorry, I bumped the camera again. Make it look like there's a shadow on the wall behind him. And I'm going to touch up his whiskers and the edges of his fur around the edges of his body a bit more. I decided I'm going to put some reflection, some light reflection on the glass. Just where the wine is. Just a little bit of watered down titanium white. So I actually remembered to sign my painting this time. I have so many paintings where I have not signed them. I really should go back and do that. Always sign your painting. That way somebody will know who did it. And when you're long gone, the world will go, oh, I know who that painter was. I just have the titanium white and I'm just touching up the odd little bit of fur, the whiskers, the eyebrows. Sorry about the hand again.